What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well today. As for myself, I'm doing okay. This is like the third time that I am about to try to get this recap done. My throat is acting up today, so let's try to see if we can get this one done this time. Market today, I guess it was to be expected with it being an FOMC day. Little flat in the open, kind of sold off midday, and then ramped up into FOMC and Jerome Powell speaking. So let's jump on over into TRADERVUE, looking to see what we did today. Reviewing trades for Wednesday, March 22nd. Took a total of 7 trades today. Closed P&L 122. If you look, you'll see 5 green trades. You see 1 red trade. You see 1 trade that is still open. That there, my good people, is a lottery ticket. That's a contract that I bought pretty much as the market closed. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. We're just going to review these first 3 trades today. These are what we took this morning. These here, we took 2 of them leading into the 2 o'clock FOMC. And then I took this one as FOMC was going on. Decent trades. These 2, definite decent trades. I took them and I stepped away from my desk. I didn't have targets in the system. I didn't get back to my desk before 2 o'clock. FOMC jumped off. These things rocketed. By the time I got back to sit down to try to get out of them, they were coming back down. Let's take a look at this one real quick. They were coming back down. You can look and see where I got in. Look where I got in. Look at the move this made. I was up about $60 on this trade. And it flushed back down. And I got out basically flat. Came all the way back down, or not even, no, I'm sorry. I got out right here and it pushed higher right here. So when I got out, I'm like, oh, you dirty dog. You could have just stayed in it. FOMC, you really don't want to do that. And look, it didn't really pull back that much. But yeah, pulled back, shot back up again, closed right there. And I say it didn't pull back much. This thing had pulled all the way back, and then it came all the way back up, left that bottom and tail back up a little bit higher. But first time kind of trading FOMC, so we managed it as best we could around here. Let's go ahead and bring up Thinkorswim. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go back over to my left-hand screen real quick. I want to bring up the Discord. And you always hear me talking about live traders. This is something that we discussed in the Discord the past few days. And they talked about it today. What is integrity? Doing the right thing when you're supposed to, regardless of the emotional pain. Taking your stop losses. That's something that in the last couple of weeks I kind of been guilty of, kind of adjusting my stop loss, kind of moving it. But this next one, letting trades run to target. It's the reason I'm showing this. You know it's going to be a reason. Not chasing or having FOMO. Only taking trades that are in your trading plan. And it says most traders fail because they lack integrity. Interesting. Let's look at this right here. In trading, short-term joy leads to long-term pain. It's not just knowing what is right and wrong. It's doing what is right. That's an action. So this is what they discussed in Live Traders Lecture. This is what Jared over there discussed today. Also, this was another one. Consequence. Pilots and checklist. Why do they have them? Are you glad that they have them? You should be. Do you have a trading checklist and do you follow it? This goes to me as well. I have a checklist. I made an options trading checklist. Do I follow it? Not always. And when I don't follow it, I usually make mistakes. I'll usually get into a contract that I shouldn't be in. So just wanted to show those two real quick. Let's come on back over to Thinkorswim and let's get to reviewing these trades. Got the SPY pulled up. Let's take a big picture look at the SPY. Again, it's kind of ugly this morning. You see a line right here. It's the hourly channel. It's a very big hourly channel. You see this green line right here. That is the weekly up channel. The SPY was trying to get in that this morning. Couldn't quite do it. Comes into open. Kind of pushes back down, tries to make the move, reclaim previous high of day, and then it just kind of tanks on out. And then it starts this uptrend at 12:30 and kind of just chugs along. And this is what kind of gave me the thought to go ahead and let's take a contract. Let's go ahead, let's take a SPY play, and let's see what it does. And that's what we did right there. And I will, I want to kind of get through this fairly quick. I was going to show where I got in on this, but we won't do that today. Let's go ahead. Let's get to reviewing these trades that we did take. First one, NVDA. Pull up NVDA's chart. Let's scroll it over. Let's take a look. NVDA had 2 hourly channels. You see, I already got arrows. I was just about done with this thing and had a hack attack, cough attack. I was like, I can't make this video. But 2 up channels. We got this one and we have this one. Market opens. I get in right as the market opens. Is that in my trading plan? Should I be doing that? Yeah, it is. I don't mind taking these early trades. You do see that I had made this little zone right here. So it breaks out of the zone. It breaks this little breakout. Pulls back. Wicked. Luckily, I had my stop at the low. I had my stop down there. So I don't get stopped out. When you're taking a trade first thing in the morning, especially off of the 1-minute chart, give yourself extra room. Give yourself that extra room. I did. It saved me. Had I had my stop below VWAP, I'm stopped out. Had I had it below this channel, I'm stopped out. Giving it that extra room. I could sit through it. Boom. But I don't trust myself. I don't let this thing go to target per se. And I don't trust the chart. This is an hourly channel. Trust that this thing is going to make it to the top of the channel before it tries to push back down. Trust that it is going to make it to the top of the channel and then possibly push back down. So I get out right here. I only had 1 contract. Made 46 bucks on there. This thing pushes up. Look what it does. Chops around the channel. Breaks out. Pushes up to the next channel. Chops around the next channel. Tries to push up higher. Doesn't make it all the way up to the top of that channel. Comes back down. This tells you it's something to these channels, y'all. Look how many times it tested it. Look how many times it tested it. It got out. Look what it caught support on. comes back up. It tested. It does make it to the top of that other channel. This is 2 o'clock. But look at what it uses at 2 o'clock. The top of that channel for resistance. Breaks out of it, gets shoved back in, tries it again, shoved back in, tries it again, and it makes a bigger move. Let's come over here. It's bouncing off of it again. I love these channels. I love the channels. They work. They work. But that was NVDA. Let's go ahead. Let's take a peek at Apple. Why do I hear a phone ringing? But I looked at my phone and it's not ringing. That's weird. Got Apple. We got Apple, the right Apple. Again, you see my arrows already on the chart. Let's take a peek at this one. Hourly up channel. So the big picture for Apple is that it's in an up channel going up. The intraday had it in a little slightly down channel, but it was transitioning, setting a higher low from there. Market opens, boom, pushes up, it breaks previous high of day. I get in right here. Let's look at this big picture. I have literally missed all of this channel's move. In other words, I am chasing. At the time, I wouldn't say that I had FOMO. I would just say that I was chasing a move that had already happened way back on the back side of that chart, way back over here somewhere when it was down here at the bottom. So this has no room. No room. When this came up peekabooed, I should have been like, yeah, this might be done. When it breaks channel, next obvious thing is for it to try to get pushed back down to the bottom of it. The reason that it didn't do it, previous high of day, previous close of day. Those are blocking it from going lower. So I sit in this thing and ride it all the way back down. I got 3 contracts. Arbitrarily just get out. That's not really a stop, because getting in right there, the stop really should have been down here. And like I did NVDA, I should have just been taking 1 contract, but should have got out right there. Definitely should have got out when this rolled back over. Getting out over here, I'm getting out basically even. Right there is 79 cents. I'm in at 76 on 3 contracts. That's $10 that I could have locked in. Get out right there. That's 76 cents. That's break even right there. This is over. This move is done. This is about to come back down and try to touch the base of this. Previous day's high kept that from happening. Previous day's close kept that from happening. Finally does get it pushed back up, but was not a good trade to be trying to sit through all this junk in. At the height of that move right there, we only up 80 cents. Or we only at 80 cents on a trade that we was in at 76. So we only up 4 cents right there. On 3 contracts, it's only $12. This was not a good trade. Not a good trade at all. And we paid some money for it. We paid a little bit of money for it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this last trade, Microsoft. And now do you see 2 of those things that Jared mentioned, I was guilty of today. 2 of them I was guilty of. Let's look at Microsoft. If you notice, Microsoft, just like NVDA, had 2 hourly channels. 2 of them. We were trading in that lower channel again, just like NVDA. Market opens, tries to break out of the lower one, gets pushed back in, comes up, comes back down. I don't really notice this until it's gone. Till this thing is off to the races. But this was a nice W, and I did notice the W because I mentioned that in Discord. I'm like, I like that W, but I don't catch it. It races right on up through this first channel. Excellent. Man, that was a sweet move. Breaks out. Look what it does. Comes up to the next channel. They try to push it in. It gets held on that first candle. Next candle. Nope, we off to the races. Takes off. Now I'm looking at this like, this is a little extended. We only had these two little red candles. I'm going to look for the next two candles to form. So we get this candle, next one. I want to be a part of the trade. Is that in my trading plan? Not really. It's a trade that I've taken before. It's one that's blazed me before. But this is one that got me paid the most today. Just because it got me paid the most don't necessarily make it right. But I get in right here. Pulls back to the 20 moving average. It tries to pop and go higher. We get this lower high right here. Now I can get excited. Now I can get excited because it didn't break the high. We get the push back down. I get out of this as it's coming back to this channel. I'm thinking that this might try to use this as support to go on ahead and continue higher. It doesn't, kind of breaks down. I get out right there. That right there was probably the best thing that I did on this trade. Because watch this. Look at what that thing did. It would have gave me one more chance right there, but I didn't need it. I actually got out at a decent spot, and this thing does what it was supposed to do. Test this lower channel and rip higher. Now, one thing I noticed when I was doing this initial recap, just because this comes down and taps this, that's not an entry for me to get in. One, we don't get the confirmation. Two, we are below the 20. So when this push back in, that's still not confirmation. We are below the 20. Right here might have triggered me in. Stop gonna have to be down here because this is the lowest point of that move. Look what they try to do. They dropped that wick down trying to stop these people out. Smart money had they stops below that, or not smart money, because smart money is the ones who taking our money. But the smarter retail investors or retail traders, they're going to have a stop down here, possibly on the 50. Comes down, tries to tag him, back off to the races. Look what it does. Tries to get out of the channel. 2 candles later, it's out of it. Test it. It's something to these channels, y'all, and that is why I love them. Comes back down. Look what it does. It's testing this channel again, trying to go higher. Finally gets the move, breaks a little higher. Let's keep on going. You're going to see what happens next. Keep on going. You're going to see what happens next. FOMC, back off to the races. And look at, even in the time of FOMC, look at where this thing was hovering. The channel. Look at where it drops down to. The channel. Look at where it's hovering around these channels. So when I got these 2 channels on my chart, it was a good reason for me to have them because they were respected. They were respected. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. As always, thanks for checking me out. If you haven't already hit that like button, please, please, please hit that like button. It will let YouTube know that the content that I'm putting out has some form of value. If you're not already subscribed, please think about subscribing. It does not cost you a thing. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comments. Did you take advantage of FOMC today? I did. Didn't totally capitalize. One thing that I will say, I would never trade stocks during FOMC. Never. Just because you seen what that whipsaw was like at 2 o'clock. But I'll take options going into the trade, buying a contract that I'm willing to risk the entire amount on. That contract is $100. I'm risking in my mind that entire $100. If it's $50, I'm willing to lose that entire amount of that contract for the potential on the opposite side to see what I can make out of it. So took 3 like that, and I'm holding 1 more like that. Let us go back real quick and look at the SPY. I'm gonna look just for my own sake and see where we're at. So yeah, it's decent. It's a little higher than when I got in. So it's not saying much. It can tank out between now and the morning, or it could make a nice move and I could be green good. I'm down $11 on it right now on a $50 contract. So market closed and now it's back higher again. It's back where I got in, or maybe a little higher than that. So we'll see how it looks in the morning. But how did y'all do? Let me know in the comments. On that note, I am out of here. May or may not be trading in the morning, leaning more so towards the not. But we'll be back at it Friday though, for sure. All right, peace.